Welcome back from the lunch break. Council, before we proceed with witnesses, you have procedural matter to raise.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Yes, Mr. Chair, you recall the Commission had written to Gamtel, sent a subpoena, Deus Tecum, requesting for some information regarding the call data records of certain telephone numbers we were provided with by the Witness General M.A. Barr. We have received the response from Gamtel. I asked that it be put in evidence as Exhibit 182.
182? Yes,
Exhibit 182.
Good.
And we have also showed some pictures to Fatoumata Sandeng.
Yeah.
Those 3 pictures should be Exhibit 183, 183A, and 183B. The letter, you had already seen the letter that was sent by Gamtel. Yes. I am also sending the pictures that were showed to Fatoumata Sandeng over to you, so that you may have a look at them.
And requests are granted.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you. And if we're ready with the witnesses today, please proceed.
Thank you. May I ask that the 2 witnesses be sworn in separately?
I, Ismaila Cisse.
Nte Ismaila Cisse.
I, Ismaila Cisse.
Nte Ismaila Cisse.
I, Ismaila Cisse.
Nte Ismaila Cisse.
Nte Ismaila Cisse.
Do swear that.
Benkalila ko.
Benkalila ko.
I'll speak the truth.
Betonyale fola.
Betonyala fola.
The whole truth.
Tonya damma.
Tonya damma.
And nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola mem manke tonyate.
Nte fem fola mem manke tonyate.
So help me God.
Woto alama ale ndema.
Alama atala ndema.
Amen. I, Yaya Jammeh.
Nte Yaya Jammeh.
Nte Yaya Jammeh.
Do swear that.
Benkalila ko.
Benkalila ko.
I'll speak the truth.
Betonyale fola.
Betonyale fola.
The whole truth.
Tonya damma.
Tonya damma.
And nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola mem manke tonyate.
Gambandundo.
And nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola mem manke tonyate.
Fem fola dinu fola mem manke tonyate.
So help me God.
Woto alama ale ndema.
Alama ale sokayala. Anni kila hono.
Thank you very much, Ismaila Cisse and Yaya Jammeh,
Ismaila Cisse and Yaya Jammeh,
for your willingness to come and testify before the commission. I know we're missing the doctor titles. But I am sure that we would hear very good testimony. We are calling you here to testify today about April 16, 2016. What happened at Usainu Dabo's house? And how those events unfolded, leading to your arrest and detention. Your eventual trial,
conviction,
conviction, and subsequent release.
Andu inata na bula fana.
At the end of your testimony,
Allah sedandro nyim bandularo.
The chairman may give you the opportunity to say a few words.
Sedan ko kiyama no nying asikeno abesilo dia la pour ning atrale kuma soro albela fla kala kuma da soro menna aliyafo.
Thank you very much. Do you understand?
Alnimbara bake silang commission bal nyinin kala fo aliyafa ham la ba mem fota bang.
Yes, we've had it.
Ismaila?
Ismaila dum.
Yeah, moy.
Ismaila ya moyle.
Yes.
So if you don't understand a question, please ask me to repeat it.
Nyinin karo nyinin kar ning atra yal nyinin karo me alon ko alma faham. Alsa nyinin ka ku. Pour nyinin karo nyin ya se inkan.
Thank you very much. You have just sworn an oath to speak the truth. It's a criminal offense under the laws of this country to lie on the oath. You understand?
Yes, we understand.
Okay, so I'll start with you, Ismaila. What are your full names?
Ismaila Sise.
My name is Ismaila Sise.
Where do you live?
Burfoot.
I'm staying at Burfoot.
And what do you do?
As
an elderly man, my profession was farming, but now I am old, I cannot do anything. I've stopped everything now.
And Yaya Jame?
Yaya Jame dum.
What are your full names?
Itoni kondong dum.
My name is Yaya Jame from Jara Tonya Taba. But I'm presently resident at Talinding Kunjang.
What do you do?
Yaya Jame, ite kamuneke, ike balu munela.
I am a driver. Yes.
Yaya, you remember on the 16th of April 2016?
Yaya, hakilo si murno koma April karoti
Tiltani
woro 2016 sang kono bang.
Where were you in the morning?
Wolungo ebe min dole nung somandala.
I was at home in the morning, but I was called and informed that there is a meeting at Usainu Dabo's compound.
Were you told what time the meeting was to take place?
For ya for enda ba meeting ngin abdabe mutala montro wati jumala bang.
No, they didn't tell me that.
And what did you do with that information?
Biriyo kibaro nyim soto inara na muneke.
I also got ready and I went to the venue.
What time did you get there?
Ifura dingirani to montro wati juma.
No, akoy futata je wati juma, montro wati juma.
Dingirani to.
Around 4-5 mafanda.
I arrived at the venue around 4 to 5
p.m., right?
Uraro for Somanda.
Uraro.
In the evening.
But Ismaila, how about you? On the morning of 16 April 2016, where were you?
Ismaila dum April karo tiltang ani woro 2016 sango ite benum mintole. Somandala.
Mbeya.
I was at home.
And what did you do for the rest of the day?
Wolungo nyitilo nyalo ngobe yemuneke.
Nda janne nga wule moyen telephone na bun kono wotu mun na mobile selskil na bala ngari si na mari manyo moy kuki.
Yeah, I was at home in my house. But before I even went out, somebody called me through my mobile phone, but we were unable to talk because I had only one cell left in my battery and the mobile phone went off and we were unable to hear from each other again.
But did you hear anything that the person said?
I kumo se barama senia na mobile fat.
He started telling me something, but it was not clear to me what he was saying, and my mobile went off.
And then?
Mobile fat and not a funti.
After the mobile went off, I went out. I met with somebody outside who came to inform me that Well, I should go and answer at Useinu's compound.
Who is that person?
Jumale wo mari ti me yo fo e.
O mari na be tarta dulakine ka fa bakay gite.
That person, we were at the same place, but his name is Bakai Jite.
And what did you do with that information? When you heard that, what did you decide to do?
Silam biri yo kibaro nyin soro ina na mune to mute sondo me kono be menkela.
Nata jako alifala mu Usenti ay kumandiro ke moli eta mitinola tata ndankuji.
I realized that Usainu is an elderly person, a respected person. So when he calls, then it's necessary. Then I decided to go and answer to his call.
And what time did you get there?
Ifuna je montoro wati juma.
Ndala kalam taroto otumo taranta mansi.
According to my understanding, it was before 10 o'clock.
In the morning or in the evening?
Somanda bang fo ularo la.
Ndanga men kalam ta somanda.
What I remember was it was in the morning.
So when you got to Useinu's house, what did you find there?
Bidi ifuna Usainu la korda kono wala mbate la wala bun kono yemuna taraje.
Nte ngamol tara mitinola.
I found people attending a meeting.
And what was the meeting about?
Meeting woni nga dalilo munati.
Ndanga memoy wala mo yinte ko solo sandeng nsulata wala akendo wala abedauda nsulata wala.
What I had being said at the meeting was that Solo Sandeng is somebody that we need. Whether he is dead or alive, we need to get him.
How many people were in that meeting?
I cannot give the amount of people there at that moment.
Up to 100 or more?
Many people were gathered there. This is why I cannot give the amount.
Who do you remember to have been present?
There were many people there, and I don't know all of these people.
I mean, who do you remember?
Ite menu sute ko Carlo nyindi ye menu je bendulato je.
Da kilo e memuta wala mo yende ko wo time mu jamabe dundi nyoko non hakilo be lori wusen lek.
At that moment, there were many people and we were mingling about, but my only attention was on Usainu Dabo.
Were you there till after lunch?
Darraje fo before kontong besiri ne nate e molu aris.
We were there, and even before lunch, they came and arrested us.
Did the group go out before you were arrested?
Andanga kafo jela kirimbaso kumatam e gaso fai.
What I remember was that we were just there gathered, then all of a sudden there was commotion within the people. Then somebody decided to release a gas on us.
Was there any point in time when you lost sight of Usainu?
Fobo wati bijele wato me yalonko itenya imam Usainu je molu kono inya fotala.
Wato men nandanya fota Usain la birim ma kankumata wotu mu paral nila moto nata.
The time I missed to see Usainu was that when this commotion started, that was the time when the paramilitary officers arrived with their vehicle.
Where did you see him?
Ya jamindole.
Africiel ni Usain la kordate.
Between Africel and his compound.
Ismaila.
Ismaila.
We are taking it step by step.
Mbata kan simfanin simfala.
You were at Useinu's house in the morning.
Itartanung Usainu la korda kono somanda.
You were there while people were discussing what to do.
Itartanunje tambo men na molbe kachakang mune be elbina mune kela membe kela.
Was there any point in time when you and the group left the house to go outside
4 Allah taro wicho nyin kon Usenu la korda kon fu wati nata na soto lamba ito no kafo mul kal findi Usenu la korda kon ka findi bantaba
Be bantale.
Yes, we were outside the compound.
Was there any point the group went all the way towards Africell?
4 Allah taro wicho nyin kon kafo nyin fu wati nata na soto lamba ka findi ala korda kon kata ke kungotiling Africell la fanna la ma fa wala ba
Be silo la kambeta kam.
Yes, we took up the way and headed towards that area.
Do you recall what time you left Useinu's house to go that direction towards Africell?
fo hakilo sa mutano montoro wati jumalem al findi da Usenu la korda kono kal kungotiling Africell la korda to ma fa wala
Awo time on tamo time long.
No, I don't know that time.
So, Yaya Jammeh,
silan yaya jamme
you told the commission that you arrived at Useinu's house at around 4 going to 5.
yeñin fo commission e ko ite futata Usenu la korda kono kata talan nani kata tala lulu kam
Can you tell us what you found when you arrived there?
silan fo isa fo no hanka bi commission e biri futata je dingira nyindo ala korda to yemune taraje membe keri nunje
When I arrived at the compound, I found people sitting around. They were there with journalists. They said that he called for a press conference in the compound.
Who called the press conference?
jumale nyen kibar bengo kumandi
They said Usenu.
Useinu who?
Usenu juma
Usenu Dabo.
Tenteng, proceed.
tendeng
Because journalists were there. Journalists were there. Kemesen Jammeh was there, plus Lamin Diba and others, plus journalists. There were many supporters, including Dembo by Force Bojang.
undanya
Unda Nyang was also there.
So,
They were all there, and there were a lot of people at that time.
And did a press conference take place?
fo kibar bengo nyingo nata na kela bang kibar bengo nyingo nata na kela bang kibar tala law bengo nyingo nata na kela bang bengo nying keta
Ane ako fo bengo nyin nata keleban diamu lalu diamu tale bengo nyin dalilo kang.
No, man diam.
No, they didn't say anything. It was only Usenu who spoke in English, Mandinka, and Wolof.
Do you recall what he said?
fo hakilo sa mutano ay mem fo jeto bang bendular fo hakilo sa mutano ay mem fo bendula nyinto mitindular ay mem fo je
I cannot speak English. But equally, I'm not Mandinka counting through account. What he said in Mandinka was that we are all one big family. Let's try to unite and take care of each other so that the party will be able to grow up in strength.
Did he say anything about the reason why you were gathered there?
fo aya falen dalilo me ya sabu albenta je bang
Honey.
No.
Did you hear him say anything about Solo Sunday?
fo ya moyle baye kuma fo bang kasujini solo la ko la bang
Solo is cool.
fo ya moyle kuma fo solo la ko la bang solo sande
Kuma for bara ala kuma wala ko na start wala ko danga tukumfana. Parce que benga la masalo ka la kura da pour ka janja ndam do solo la dinno botane nyunkumbo.
Well, what happened there was after the meeting, after he spoke, then we decided to perform the last prayers before dispersing. But immediately after we completed these last prayers, that was the time when Solo's family members came in running and crying.
And did they say anything when they arrived?
bring allow dingo ngol fura solo la dinno fura da fo kuma sota da baye mem fo bang
Ay ko nyene ka e fay wushene ka ko fa fa.
Well, they were throwing themselves on top of Usenu, crying and saying that their father has been killed. That was the time when people got up and said that we should go for a demonstration.
Did they say how the demonstration was going to take place?
Fo ya fo ne ba o balam baya nyin abe tamala nyaadi le ba ba kela nyaadi le.
Demonstration no. Amoli afala ko ne man la speaker ta Mambano safe bankola luwa sambo dinansi demonstration okeno.
He said, without taking a loudspeaker or writing banners, but the law has allowed them to go out and demonstrate.
Did he say how it was to be done? Or
Aya fole ban o balam baya nying abekela
how
nyame
you were to organize yourselves?
albal fam parendi la nyame fo ayo fali na bang.
Ani.
No.
Tolo wulta drum kontine da wonya.
We just got up after he spoke, and we decided to take up the main way and go, main road and go.
Did he say anything about who was to be in front or what position others were to take?
Aya fali na bang jumale betar la nyato waranto nyi mokar ni mokar betar la nyi place nyi dinkira do nyi do betar la jang fa ayo fole o sival.
Ntole atale tambindi. Kala tele mo ko nya don kote.
As far as he is the party leader, we allowed him to lead us himself, Modusane, Lamindiba and Kemeseng. They were ahead of us, they led us.
Ismaila, when the group was about to leave Useinu's home to go towards Africell, did you join the group?
Ismaila birin kafo nyi natana nyingani yoda pour ka findi Ousseynou la korda nyi kono fo eda fon kundingo e kafuta kafo nyi male ba
ni beta kan bar birin tata metan telotale.
I was going along with them initially, but after taking some distance, I decided to stand.
Do you recall who led the group?
fo hakilo sa mudano jumale kafo nyi nyaton kayaba
Sen lebe nyato.
Ousseynou was in front.
And at what point did you stop?
ite natana lo ta wicho nyi ngone natana lo wato jumalla wato mene bitaka
Wato me mondal fola de bar birin tata metan telotale.
I cannot remember the time exactly when I stopped, but after we left, we walked for a distance. Then after some time, I decided to stop.
Do you recall at which place you stopped?
fo hakilo sa mudano dingira jumal dum ilota damendo
Lora da me mafan Africell ye wusen la korda mafan domandi.
The place where I stopped is just a little bit nearer to Ousseynu's compound than the distance between his compound and Africell.
Silo bulubakaro.
On the right-hand side of the road, of the main road.
At the point that you stopped, did anything happen?
embo mene ite tara fo ilota fo kusota tan la menketa ba
I saw paramilitary officers, they came with a truck.
Yeah.
The
group decided to leave Ousseynu's house and you followed.
Kafo natana nyi bengo soto kambengo soto puru ka findi Ousseynou la korda kono ibulate noma.
Which finda Ousseynia?
Ha kafo nyi natana nyi ngani soto puru ka findi Ousseynou la korda kono itana ibulate noma.
Ha bulate noma kay.
Yes, I went with them.
Where were you in the group?
Ite be kafo nyi ndingira fanna jumalto.
Middle, back.
Tema fok ba koma.
Bili ifinda na Ousseynou korda kono bulate noma mbida fo officiel.
Ko ibe tema le bang fo ibe koma.
Le fo nyato fo koma. Ibe kafo tema le wotumo fo koma fo nyato.
Alemba koma la de.
Yes, I was. There was a lot of people, so I was at the back of the group.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
Huh? Proceed.
Tenteng ako tenteng kabo woro.
Ndokoma barbirin paral nata.
I was behind. Until
nata wolu murdal.
Mem follow nata wala muruta.
Yes. Nata.
When we were marching, when we left and started marching, we went up to a distance. Then we saw a truck approaching with paramilitary officers. Yo mbatu ningambandi si tenteng.
Okay.
So when we were walking, the first vehicle that approached us didn't stop. It just turned and went back. Then again, a little bit later, another truck approached, followed by another. When they reached us, they didn't ask anybody. So
no compromise.
So when the second truck also approached, at that time, There was no compromise.
So ni e jolo moto ko ndang paw le kido be kumala paw e molbe le pala molbe baramale be nyuna molbe fa la moto ko.
When they alighted from their vehicle in a rush, they fell upon people, beating people. In fact, some of them were firing in the air, and they were bundling people and throwing them inside their trucks.
What were they firing in the air?
Kamune fay ila kidolto.
Ah?
Kamune fay.
Mol.
Eka molle bung fo eka kido fay sandole.
Ka molle bung fonko la ni ela ni fole kidi fole ni.
They were firing at people with rubber bullets.
So mol janjanda.
So this is what caused the chaos. People decided to disperse.
Nana avance kada nyato pour kada useni gibe foku kada la foku mankal. Parce que abedam do wudumo kelo sembo warta je bagal.
And some people decided to volunteer and go and check on Usenu, whether he was hurt or whatever they wanted to know, because there was total chaos at that time.
Okay, Ismaila. You decided to stop as at that point you saw the paras approach, correct?
Iti na nyingani osoto puru kalo koma. Tembo mena yenyi paral je binaka.
Bilinga paral je moto follow nying ko moto follow murunta wala moto follow moto fulanjang nata. Ntama hakilo man tarawo do to ndenga paral jele dono kidol be fayla after nata je gaso fay.
Well, what I can say is that I didn't even keep my mind on whether the first truck went back or came or whatever. But I realized that when another truck joined the first one, that was the time when these people fell on the group. They were firing guns and they were hitting people left and right.
And then they threw tear gas.
And they threw tear gas, yes.
What did you do when that happened?
We didn't know munege biri woketa Ismaila.
Biri gaso fay gaso funjalo seletantela ngaje ko paretam batandila mbe dame mafa dulaji be pour kata ala tatande manga bitikiti doje we wo mobile wa fulat sa intilinta gela pour kadum parandindo tambita nyata kuntuta nyata ka wurin kan ka intani tamam business soto ga jange nyata wo mobile ti wala biti ko ay wo damfu adunta wo kan anim boro fundita anta dunta wo kan ko en so jodo mandi nangammi.
After these people fired this tear gas, the gas got to me and it started troubling me because it went in my nose and eyes. So that was the time when I looked around, then I saw a shop nearby, somebody who was selling mobile phones. Then I decided to approach him. By the time I was close to his door, a young para approached me and started shouting on me. Then I stopped and told him that, you look, I have no business with you. Leave me alone. Then he rushed inside the shop and he kicked the door before going in. So, but when he went in, at the same time, he came rushing out again. Then I went into the shop and I asked the man to offer me some water, which I needed at the time.
And what happened after that?
After that, I left that area. So I went back towards Useinu's compound until I reached his compound gate. At that time, there was a big log which was placed at the gate of the compound, near the gate where people sit. That's where I sat. I sat on that log.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I will come back to you, Ismaila. Yeah,
Jamme.
You said at that point, when the para started hitting people and firing tear gas or rubber bullets,
During paralia damu ka mol lipa ka roba bulletol kesol ni kidi folel ni fay ka gasol fay.
You and other people decided to go into the front in order to see what, if anything, was happening to Usainu.
Iteni do kota nyolo altara nyaro ka je ka jube ka lon fo ku keta Usainu dalaba.
What did you find when you got there?
Biring altara nyaro ale muna taranje men keta je.
What am I do? For la mansa. I was saying, I'm very serious.
At that time, it was only Allah. It was only Allah who was taking care of us.
Like this, so
when I reached Usenu, I discovered that he was seriously wounded because he was he was wounded on his head where they hit him, and he was bleeding seriously because the white T-shirt that he wore all was smeared with blood.
I am sending you a picture, so take a look at. Tell us whether that picture represents something that you saw that day.
That's him standing.
Does this picture depict what happened that day?
Afayaya. Ako. Yemen jenatalo bala. Fodung. Kawle foyeng fodung yemen jenatalo bala wulung aketa wole nyama banga benatalo bala nyami.
Membeja baby jele too.
Yes, what is on the picture is all part of what happened that day. Because the people here, Peters, Kemeseng, and Keba Koli, and Mane, Guna Suso, and others, many people were there. There were many people.
Could you pass it to Ismaila to see whether he recognized this event?
Yes, this is how it happened.
Mr. Chair, we asked to tender this picture in evidence. Kindly send it to the chairman, and if you so admit, it would be Exhibit 184. So, you said when you got to the front, you saw that Usainu was injured on the head. And there was blood flowing down all over the collar of his shirt. Did you see other members of the UDP leadership?
Yes. Because me personally got into a struggle with them.
Tell us about it.
They hit me on my shoulder here. That's why even up to date, if the place becomes very cold, I cannot raise up my hand. It's just this place, but I can vow. But nobody should vow in a group. It is not safe. If you think you are brave, you believe in yourself, you might find somebody who is ahead of you.
So apart from being hit on the shoulder, were you hit anywhere else?
No, that was the only time they hit me. This is why I don't want to talk too much, because in certain circumstances, anybody who beats me, you will go straight to the next wall. Nobody beats me.
Who did you believe hit you that day? Who did you believe hit you that day?
I don't know who hit me.
Was the person a para or not?
Yes, it's a para. It's a para because.
Did any of the paras die that day?
Yes.
Who?
Juma.
Mem fata wulu ya mari tolo ne ba ko juma.
Dama olongo kala watu mo ndabe nyane rusian ne nomadro.
I don't know him because at that time my concern was about Usainu. I was just going towards Usainu when I had this person hit me on my shoulder. But me, I don't look backwards. I just went on.
And what happened after that?
After that, we were taken away. The vehicle that carried Usainu is the same vehicle that I boarded, where they put me. They took us to the PIU headquarters.
So how about the other leaders of the UDP?
UDP la alpha kotang
You said in the picture you saw K. Meseng, Femi Peters, Diba, and others.
Iko natalo nyindo ye K. Meseng ye Femi Peters je.
Yes.
Iko natalo nyindo ye K. Meseng je ye Femi Peters je ye Diba je anendo kotangol melalon ko UDP la kunukum malam.
Yes.
So do you know what happened to them?
Yala na muna keta wal fanan na ba?
Kamesa yabara ma bulu to jana bulu ko kanja.
Yes, Kemesen was wounded on the back of his hand. Yes, on the back of his hand.
And the others?
Lamin Jata Birkama yo fanambara ma kungoto.
Lamin Jata from Birkama was also wounded on his head.
Who else?
Aninjuma. Aninjuma koteng.
Wodo na yo le baramantola timo molko.
Among the team that I went with, these are the people whom I saw. Some people were beaten, but they didn't sustain injuries which bled. People like me. I was beaten, but I didn't bleed.
At what location, at what point were you apprehended?
It was between Africell and Mrs. Ndau's school.
Middle school.
Between Africell and Mrs. Ndau's middle school in that area.
How about Usainu?
Usainu dum.
They were the first people to be apprehended. They were the first people apprehended. When he was put on board a vehicle, they didn't waste time.
What do you mean by that?
Hello, koto muna di kafo ma waste time.
We also decided to follow him because we said, wherever Usainu is, that's where we are going, whether we die or not.
Did you run away?
Run away? No.
How about the others?
Well, we stayed at the place where we were standing before. And when the vehicle came back, it found us at the same place where they left us. That's when we were all packed and boarded the vehicle and left.
How could you describe to the commission how you got to be placed inside the vehicle?
Isa Kenya ni sara no commission e tandi commission ba ye bulani no mutoko no nyaade ye kenyali le mutoko ye kele ñu mu nyaadi mutoko no fa isa tandi no commission la bang ye ke mutoko no nyaadi le ke bulani mutoko no
awla
ani isapite kan ye cikandi ke bulandi mutoko no bang fo ye bulandi mutoko no nyaadi nyaalema
yari ka le pale kala du mutoko no dole be je sinya pika ye fay
ari mete fayda mun de fond Yes, others were grabbed and thrown on board the vehicle, but me, I went into the vehicle by myself.
Didn't he say some were dragged and dumped into the vehicle like baskets, something like that?
Yes, he said people were grabbed and thrown on board the vehicle like cola nut baskets.
Thank you. And for you, you climbed the vehicle by yourself.
Yes. It was against my will to go on board the vehicle, but they were beating people and telling people to climb. And I didn't want to be beaten like the others, so this is why I decided to climb into the vehicle by myself.
At that time, did you receive any hits or you did not?
Fo kada fo bula wato la fo inata na liparo soro le bang fo ma liparo soro bang.
Ani.
No.
And when you climbed in the vehicle, who did you find there?
Birita da fo isla da idunda moto nyin kono. E jumale tara moto nyin kono.
Mol taraje ka fenganyol taraje fa ke ba ko nyolu.
I found Fakeba Koli on board the vehicle.
Duguna susu nyolu.
Juguna Suso and others.
Ani Usain Dabo din sungudo Fanta Dabo nyolu.
Plus Fanta Dabo, Usainu Dabo's daughter.
Wol betaraje.
I found all of them on board the vehicle.
How about
Ka balanka e ka fa kianko le ka fa e balanka.
And another person from Kiang called Balankang.
Wol betara moto ko
They were all on board that same vehicle.
How about Usainu? Was he in that vehicle?
Senu dong fa fana benu moto kono le bang.
Ani ngata wotata.
No, Usainu had already left by then.
So, Ismaila,
Silang Ismaila.
you decided to return
Ite nying nar na ngani yo soro pur ka murun koma.
to go and sit near Usainu's house.
Pur katasi Usenu la korda dala.
That trunk of a tree that was lying there.
Wiri juo nyimi belari ngala korda bundaro.
What happened when after you got there?
Muna nara nake biri furata wiri juo nyimi belari ngala korda bundaro. Muna nara nake.
Mesirin jele ngaje paral nate motolon. Motolon di konyoko is bula.
I was sitting down there when the paras arrived again with their truck. Then they came out and told me to board the vehicle.
What did you do?
Ye muneke?
I asked them, what have I done? Because I didn't commit any crime.
And then?
They said, that's not true. Go or you have to board the truck. I got up and stood. Somebody wanted to touch me. I told him, don't touch me with your hand. He retreated. There was another person standing by the vehicle. He also came after this one retreated, and he asked me, what do you say? I said to him, hey. That man told me, now, let's help each other so that you can board this vehicle. So that was the time after I thought briefly, I decided to board the vehicle because I was at that point very angry. Then I boarded the vehicle. They took us to Kanifi.
Where in Kanifing?
Kanifing dingira juma yar samba davento.
Where the paras are.
Do you recall who you found in the vehicle?
Bili bulata moro nyingono fo yakilo sa murano e juma le tara moro nyingono.
I found a lot of people on board that vehicle.
Like who?
Mengbe ko juma.
Mohamed Fati Beji. Mohamed Fati was there. Plus a lot of people, because I don't know the names of most of them.
Were you in the same vehicle with Yaya Jammeh?
Ini Yaya Jammeh tarta no moto kilingo le kono ba.
Ntenga wol taraje. Ye tara minto moto kono fo paralia. Paralia ngetel ni Usainu wol be taraje. I found Yaya and Usainu at the Paras headquarters.
Kindly tell us what happened when you arrived at the Paras headquarters.
Silang afanya bang biring ini ye fudan di para la korda baro muneketa.
Biring futandi je mol diamuta banko kanjam oppositional meni be jam wol diamuta pour yembule manson.
When we arrived at the Paras headquarters, a lot of people spoke there. Members of the opposition were demanding for our release, but the Paras refused. Other leaders decided to speak to them, but to no avail.
Human right
Members of the human rights group also spoke.
But at the Para's place, did they ask you any questions?
Arallo dingira nyinto je. Fo nyinin kar sota la ba yal nyinin ka men na ba.
Yes, we were questioned.
What were you asked?
Ye nyinin kar lella.
Muni ateli si nyindla ko ndabe wusende noma wusende mol commanding andankala.
When they asked me, I told them I am following Usainu because he called us to go and answer to him. Then I decided to go and answer to him.
Did they ask you which party you belonged to?
Po ye nyinin kala ba ite be oda party jumal to ba.
Ay nyinen garo kele bire nyinen kan ko diamo biri le diamo siatam ko ha sai wala munam.
They spoke or they talked all about that. But when there was a lot of talk, I then said, okay, yes, that's the situation now. What do you want?
Ismaila, we want to know what you were asked.
Ismaila, in lafta lon na le ye nyinin ka nyinin kar lella.
Ay nyinen karo men na wala munyende ko ay tebe party jomatom ko party o men tebe woto ko aliye party o men na mo man tebe o party o.
When they asked me which party do you belong to, I told them the party that you are, the people of the party that you are fighting against, that's the party which I belong to.
And which party did you mention a party name?
A party you to for en number.
Aberin ko tata metang ko ingin karo siatam ko ha sai wala mbe UDP da munam.
After all that, when there was more talk and discussion there, I said, now, you people, what do you want? It's true. Now, I belong to the UDP party.
Did they tell you what crime you committed?
Waya fo en bang ite imune tinya luala karola bang.
Mawo fonya.
No, they didn't tell me that.
Yaya Jame, when you arrived at the PIU, what did you find?
Yaya Jame mete dum biri ifurata PIU la dingiraro ye mune taraje.
When we arrived at the venue,
around 6:30,
we arrived there around 6:30. There was a small room. 3 of those kind of rooms were there where they take us. They asked me. They asked you your name, surname, and your place of residence. Then they finally ask you, which party do you belong to? If you tell them the party, I met with a young man from Nyomi who works for the NIA. We knew each other before. His surname is Jamme. He told me, my relative, I said yes. He said to me, if you are following Usainu, I said yes. He told me you are going to be taken to the prison. Just tell them that I am supporting Yaya Jammeh. So in the evening, they are taking these people to prison so that when you say you are supporting Yaya Jammeh, they will release you as these people will be taken to the prison. I forgot his name. I forgot his name, but if I can remember his name, I would have told you his name. But up to now, I used to see him at a police station.
So, okay. I
told him, well, I will die, but I follow Usainu Dabo and Kemesen Jammeh. I will die, but I will never support Yaya Jammeh. That's impossible.
And what happened after that?
I've been going for it. I don't know. I'm on the uncle and your Tassi. If they come on the Laguna, I'll be down mile to Kafai.
Well, after I told him that, he told me, okay, that's fine, go and sit down. In the evening, they will call your name, and you people are going to mile 2. Then so I said to him, that's fine.
So 6:30.
Around 6:30.
They came
and stood at the door with a list.
ya Usainu kumandi
They called Usainu,
fa keba ko kumandi
Akeba Koli,
ya Semi Peter kumandi
and Femi Peters.
Alhaji Morisane kumandi
They called Alhaji Modusane.
ya Lamin Diba kumandi
They called Lamin Diba.
yanda kumandi
They called me.
ya Nyem kumandi Sise
They called Ismaila Sise.
ya Modu Fati nyol kumandi
They called Modu Fati,
ana Ibrahima Sise
plus Ibrahima Sise.
ya mbudani motola
We were made to board a vehicle.
How many of you?
Almojelu.
mo tannin fenda o mo mwani kile kada duguna suso
And Duguna
fanta dabo
and Fanta Dabo. We might go up to 2021.
ayale so yang mbudani motola ona nyama ya samba.
That's how they put us on board a vehicle and took us away.
Ismaila, after they have asked you all these questions about whether you belong to UDP or not, did they ask you anything else?
Ismail ita dum birin ye nyinin ka rol bela ka nyinin ka ko fo imu UDP kanun telti bangana nyongol fo ina na nyinin ka do fana nyinin ka do lalba.
Yes.
Yes.
Yenyininka
They asked me,
mana dun tonya te ka party jumale support.
they repeated the same question, truly speaking. Which party do you support?
Ko Allah ta tonya.
I told them, if we are really seeking for the truth,
Daman party kotenje Gambia nga usenda bole party ole UDP party o bankole yalo na party ole.
there is no other party in this country that I recognize except for the UDP party. That's the party I know and that's the party I'm following.
And what did they say after that?
Birin ite wo fo e itoliye muna fo e.
Birin ngo foe konye ko sain atel bebe ta mai ton kaen alkiama jela sa tete je.
When I said that, they told me then all of you are going to mile 2. Then I told them, behind the next wall, there is no other wall behind the next wall. So whatever, I'm ready for it. There is no other living abode behind Al-Qiyamah. That means the next wall.
Good. So eventually, all of you got taken to mile 2.
Munda ko nyala bangal be inarnal be kafunyoma yal samba kasubumbar.
Mbe samba mile to biri mfutandi man samba remind yen samba confirmen.
We were all taken to mile 2. After we arrived there, they didn't take us to remand. We were all taken to confinement.
Mbe samba yen dundi selo kono momo ye dundi selo kono.
We were all put in different cells.
When you arrived at mile 2, were you processed in any way?
Bring inal yal fulandi mile 2 fo sartol ya ikani nyamem fo ye tam kol tamandre o anyama la bampuru yal to safe yal kontongol wasifal kal to safe al kontongol al sanjelu anal bodulal.
Yes.
Birin tada mile 2
When we reached mile 2,
around 7:30 mafandal fitro tambira domanding.
we arrived there around 7:30. It was just after the 7 o'clock prayers.
Yan samba koma dala jana yan samba ikabudamande confinement number 5.
We were taken behind where they have the place called confinement number 5.
Yan samba oto
When we were taken to that place,
yan dundi momo cell one man cell.
we were all put in a one-man cell.
After nadon kumandi
And we were called again.
following day nadon kumandi shuto.
The following day, they called us at night.
By one.
One by one.
Niya kumandi
If they call you,
in tabuli shefa wala landi
a table like this was placed there.
ya fani fimo ka jang
They put a black cloth. They hung it somewhere. And there was something written on this cloth.
ya babarol dada babar fano ya julo ka jang
They made placards, which were, they made placards with ropes, and they hang it on your neck and put the placard on your chest. And they are also black. They write your name on this placard, and the cameraman stands in front of you. And by that time, they would have asked your name and surname and your residence. After taking your photo, they will remove that placard from your neck.
ko security ala samba bota damento ali amurundi
They will tell the security to take you back to the cell where you were removed from.
akawle nyama fo yaba beto
That's how they did it until we were all covered.
Ismaila, when you arrived at Mile 2, did they give you the opportunity? Ilafita fem folawang.
Ako foi lafta fenne la jeba.
Ilafita fen la je.
Daba. Alinga wala ko biri julo bulam kawala pour kan natal.
I said that. But I thought initially I became afraid because I thought that when that placard was placed on my neck, I thought that they were about to kill me. So that's where I became scared.
So Ismaila, when you arrived at Mile 2 and you were processed in the manner described, did they give you an opportunity to talk to a lawyer?
Biring ye furande Mile 2 ko nyanna membe taman la yanni be mun la kasol ko nyi ya fa nyam ki to sa fe ni konton e bodulal fo inata na silo dilal bam pour yedi am lawyer e bam membe lole to yala bam
to nyala Mile 2 akole ata back.
Truly speaking, Mile 2 was hard.
Just answer the question. We will come to
lafto ya jabi wolela. Wolem nyinti ko. Biritel yo to safe o ke faw ye bandi alibala. Inata silo dilale pour ini lawyer ye diamu bang.
Man silo di.
No, that didn't take place.
Did they tell you what crime you committed?
Ya fo ene fana yemuna tinya bang, yemuna tinya luala karola bang.
Imafo.
They never told me that.
Did they take you before a judge?
Oye samba kiti te la fana nyati lingola bang.
No, they didn't take us to.
Yeah, I asked you the same questions. Were you told the crime you committed?
Yeah, haninka bi te fana be nyini ngalo nyini karikila. Fo ya fo enda ba ite yemuna tinya luala karola bang.
Our things are not like that. Israel is responsible for everything.
Did they give you the opportunity to speak to a lawyer?
Oye silo di la bang pour yedi am lawyer bang ite yaya.
No.
Did they take you before a judge?
Oye samba kiti te la fana nyati lingola la bang.
Except the day they took us all to court, myself, Hussein, and all the others.
And that would be weeks later.
Andoba kala lokun danta nyato biring yal muta.
Yes. In fact, it might be more than weeks.
So you were subsequently taken to court, Ismaila.
Andung Ismaila ko ni nyala ba ni inatana samba kitiola.
Birien samba kitiola. Kitio duta labang inata kitio kunde ko insurance sangi saba.
Yes, we were taken to court and the trial took place and it was very, very tough. But at the end of the trial, they convicted us saying that we have to go to prison for 3 years.
How did you feel when you heard the sentence, the conviction and the sentence?
Brio sorondiro nyin kankula ite o ko ni yata nyadi le famfe.
Bere sorondiro nyin kankula ntenga itandila ko nko jojo eko nkae sangi sabo menfo onte to nyati.
And after the announcement of this judgment, what I told the judge was that what you said is not true.
That's all you said, right?
Ronam kuma kango de men sufo.
Ngawole fa mbiringa bota wala koyo haniwo ngali soron sangi saba.
Well, I said that to him, but even after that, he said, okay, that closes everything, but still, I maintain what I said, you are going to jail for 3 years.
And how did you receive the conviction and the sentence?
Ita dum fanam biriye nyi kibaro nyi moy ko yal soron sanjib saba akibaro nyi yata nyaadi le.
Ngantu ko ala la do manso.
What I did was to have faith in the Almighty Allah.
Ya Jame wotuma mamu bualet.
That time Yaya Jame was a wizard.
Wotuma ma kamunta la kushenda mo kamunta afele ko subo bifte ko ni alandi ko ngesu ala.
Because Hussein appears to him as somebody who they bring beefsteak meat in front of you and told you, here is meat for you to consume. Everything he was he was responsible. He can do anything when it comes to Usenu. This is why I said, let's have faith in Allah. Whatever happens is what Allah has destined.
Ismaila, you said that prison was very hard. Could you tell us about the conditions?
Ismaila, yen fo jam mole ko eko ka prison mile tu je kolata bakale. Fo isi jela al halo ni sa fo no nyenda ba.
E atunan ko mile tu koleata follow mile tu domoro mambetea.
Why I said mile 2 was very hard. First of all, the food at mile 2 is very bad.
Mile 2 la dula mambetea.
The sleeping place at mile 2 is very bad.
Mile 2 geo mambetea.
Mile 2, the water available there is very bad.
Mile 2 ni sasata fangni boro di la boro bukasoto.
Mile 2, even if you become sick and you need medicine, they don't give it to you. You cannot get it. Sometimes, in fact, they don't even provide food for us.
Is there anything in mile 2 that you found acceptable?
For fence sort of the mile to the baite menje ko nyinde ikasonga nyin na jan.
Well, ku kendele moti sonno menna. Mosi sonno ko menna mite o kujele mile 2 bang.
Sometime wato dobe je kai kibalo dinne ka hunye ko shimama men kana alkana dom.
Sometimes they give us news. Somebody will come and inform us that the food they are going to bring for you, don't eat it. Saying that the dinner they are going to prepare for you, don't eat it. This my cell, the next cell to me, was somebody who was Masane Kinte's bodyguard from Nyomi. He will talk to me as a bantamate and tell me, you Jaranka man, the food they are going to bring for you, don't eat it. I'll provide food for you. When they bring his dinner for him, he will tell them, take it to my Jaranka old man.
Why do you think he was telling you not to eat the prison food that was dished out for you?
Mune ya tele itala mira loro mune ya sabu akawo foe ning atra kasura je yeni bo domorola ikana domo mune ya sabu itala mira loro
yala homu alla masa kunda la kuwallete yala nka men faale jandron ko useni ya jame amutala ko bifte ko amaso dono la ka domo.
Well, that is the issue between the government and the opposition. Just like as I said about Isenu being somebody like beef steak meat, if Yaya Jammeh could have reached him, he would have eaten him. If Yaya could have laid hands on Usenu, he would have chewed him like peanuts.
But he had him in
But his intention was to make him suffer. And his followers. So that they can suffer anyway. That's what he was able to do. If anybody dies during the process, that's okay. If anybody survives that process, is okay.
Did any member of your group die while in prison?
Wato mena ben nkaso kono je aldo nyol kutangol fo mo soron dala mem fara ni la jeba
na solo kuruman fara jele de fo ya operate.
So Lokuruman was somebody who died because he was operated on. He was taken to the hospital, he died there, and he was operated.
So,
the sickness that killed him, I don't know.
Did any other member of the group die while you were in detention?
Ning abara solo la fo mo koten do soron dala ba mem fata bang tembo men dalbe maroko no.
No, not anyone amongst us.
So as far as you are concerned, everything about prison was bad.
Amunda tela londo ite londo men soro je ku men bebe kasoro je ya bem ku le me ala ku jawol lam amga ku kendede.
Hello, Monsalem.
Well, this is the ruler. The ruler is responsible.
My question is
ala nyinin karo momenti wala nyinti ko ite ko men beje kasola kuti je men beteata.
Honey.
Yes, there's nothing good. Sleeping place is not good. The food is not good. And if you get sick, the clinic they have there, the medicine they provide for you in prison. Okay, the prison, even if you get sick, the medicine they provide for you are sleeping pills. Because if you make the mistake of drinking those pills, you will sleep the whole day without knowing anything. Even if your relatives bring good medicine for you, they will seize it from you.
Were you allowed visitors?
Ka sonne moliena ali kumpabo je bang?
Ah?
Ka sonne puru moliena ali kumpabo.
Hanibo.
No. Muna wati?
Nila mole boro sama na foye futaye tulima foye tulle fule ko boro mutu.
Ana be memma. Fo ali badi ngulu kasilo sotole pour yena kali jube ali benyame.
Hani.
No.
Ismaila, was it also the same for you? Were you allowed visitors or not?
Ismaila, ifana na ko kata wala nyama imanso ibadi ngena jube je bang.
Amankenda damare nyine bukaso moy futa mom.
It's not only me, they don't allow anybody to be visited.
So throughout your imprisonment, you did not receive any visitors. Is that what you're suggesting?
Amunta albenyina fokanko alamuto wuche obekono ibuka song mo badi ngena jubeje.
Bukaso moy futa ma domorite ku kotente ni femfen nati fang ni amute la badi nguli e ka tale buka futandi tem.
We are not allowed visitors. And not only visitors, if your people bring anything for you, they don't allow it to reach you. They will seize it and you will not be able to lay hands on it.
From the period of your arrest to the time of your release, were you ever tortured?
Ndede to nyato nyamali paro soto bari ngokole asoto domoro la karola ngatkole asoto mingio la karola ngokole asoto ladula la karola.
Well, as for me, nobody tortured me. But the hardship I encountered was the food was bad, the sleeping place was bad, even the water in the prison is not good.
How about you, Yaya? Were you ever tortured at any point?
Yaya ita dung fo ina na lipajela ba?
Mile 2.
Ah.
Mile 2 or PIU?
Warandong para la digirado.
Birin ni bente damento le paroka damento kele bla abanda.
The beating took place only at the point of arrest. But apart from that, nobody was beaten again.
Was any one of you ever taken to the NIA?
Al kono je fo mo na soron de la bay men samba NIA la dingirado ba?
Ala mansoto. No, mansoto.
No, not amongst us.
Ismaila?
Ismaila te dung?
No, manda samba NIA la dulat.
No, I was not taken to the NIA premises.
So you guys were tried and you were sentenced to 3 years.
Munda to alla ka fo nyi na tan al kitindi yalla soron sanji saba.
Was it all of you?
Fal belem ba?
Beltu.
All of us.
And how did you come to be released?
Silang alla bulo nyi anara na sababu nyaadi le.
Birin Adam Baro, birin karte faita Adam Baro winita durayembula.
It was after the general elections when Adam Barrow won. That's the time when we were released.
Jamme. How did you come to be released?
Ita dung ila bulo nyi sababu tanyadi le. Ila bulo nyi sababu tanyadi le te.
Wala ndole bula kare ndole be kito kon tuma na kuebe janal courthouse.
Well, it was the law that released us because during all what was going on, our case was at the courthouse. It was the law that released us, but not Adama. Yes.
Okay. But at the end of the day, you got released. Ismaila, how did you feel when you learned that you were going to go home?
Ismaila ita dung ina na nyung kuonyi ina na ta nyadi le biriya mo ko ibe sela sule.
Okay, biringa mo kombe sela suo kono.
When I heard that I was going home,
content and seota because ngaja ko mbetoro men kono ala la kitio kam ma satala de maro kan kabirin president ganyeta drum funtit.
Well, I was happy and elated because the suffering I was encountering ended because another person has won as president of the nation. So this is how I was released to go home.
How many months did you serve?
Ale kari kari jellella.
Akarusai ke kasoto.
I spent 8 months at the jail.
And Yaya, how did you feel when you learned that you are going to be released?
Ya ita dum fana ya ko nyinta nyaade la biri ya en kibaro mo ko e be bulala le be sela su.
At the courthouse. Yes, I was very happy.
She said,
Just as Cisse said, those who were on Usenu Dabo's side, people who were with Usenu were very thankful to Allah. Because we were in the middle of two things. Either we die, or we will keep on suffering until we die at mile 2. These were the two things we were facing at mile 2. If we are able to see our family members every month, it's once.
So you are able to receive visitors. You are able to see your family members.
Yes, every month once.
Was it the same for you, Ismaila? Were you seeing family members?
Ismaila dum fana fana ko kilin lembang.
Mo kilin nata kanan jube birin wa bota wala kar kilin na bota wala ibukason.
Yes, one person came to see me in 1 month, but apart from that, they don't allow.
O fangete kalo bunda to janna nyembe sirin janna ya dia munyo yal ite sonna na kinyo.
In fact, the way it was done was somebody will be sitting away from you and you will just stand at a point where they will point for you. You will stand at that spot and this person talking to you will be away from you, maybe around the gate.
So what was the impact of your arrest and imprisonment on you and your family, Ismaila?
Ismaila silang ako ite nyim mutaro nyim bring aketela. Anara ko nyinar na muna sababu iteto ani la dimbayalu la karola ako nyimbe.
Dimbala fanna de amam problem ke woto barnta fanga jaato la kum ay problem odi.
On the side of my family, there were no problems. But me personally, it gave me problems.
What problems?
Ay mun kole ya kulle di ta famu jaato.
Wose nying membenda ko na ay problemo soto mailtu netena man nyim problemo soto nyim problemo di tan na mailtu ne wo botana mailtu ngano ma witin center fokana jang ndata banjunu ye nying be bondinda kono hanisa nying man poseno.
The problem I encountered at mile 2 was about my teeth, because when I was going there, when I went there, I got this toothache at mile 2. And it became serious at mile 2. So when I was released, they took all my tooth out from my mouth. But up to date, nothing has been placed back.
And those are the only problems you have?
Yes, that's the hardship I encountered there.
What was the impact of your arrest and imprisonment?
Ita dum fana no nyimuta ro nyinga ni sorondro men ketala emun kole akule sabu itama e fon kunningo ani la dimbayalla.
Dimbal to na meso do fondim ala karama men tinyata do wato kono ala high school.
Yes, about the family, they didn't have any problems except that my son's schooling stopped. Because 8 months he was unable to go to school. So my other child, somebody helped him, a friend of mine. As far as he was unable to take care of his school fees, he helped him to get some sort of a work somewhere where the young man survived.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Apart from all that, no problems.
I have no further questions for the witnesses. Thank you very much, Nimbara.
Lead counsel ko Al Nimbara.
Thank you very much, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Ismail Assis and Ms. Yaya Jammeh, for coming to the commission to testify.
Chairman, lead counsel Nimbara. Wokola a telefonal Ismaila Cissé ani Yaya Jammeh ako al Nimbara ali sonta kana CDR la TRRC nyati lura.
You answered the call from your party executives to go and demand the whereabouts of Solo Sandeng and his colleagues.
Amunta altate danku kumandiro lela alla pati nyaton ko la kumandiro andu memba ko ma wala nyinti pour isa long Solo Sandeng abedamen wala ala ko be nyamento fo isa afreo sotono abalurin wala afaringo altata o danku ndiro lela num. Yes.
What was your understanding of what Solo Sandeng and his colleagues were demonstrating for?
Itela faham romu muneti je ka foko Solo Sandeng anim mennu fintita nun katao balambaya la ilaw balambaya ya kemun dalila le kang.
For both of them. The question is for both of them.
Almo flo be le nyininka. Solo Sandeng na la mo la finto pour katao balambaya la ya kemune kang atella faham roto.
Andala famuro ngame inge wala mo inde ka banko bondi ya jamme bulu katun abetta girinte ya bala Bangkok.
Well, according as for me, my understanding is that this all took place just to take the country out of the hands of Yaya Jammeh, because he was somebody who was dictatorial. He was a dictator in the country.
Mr. Jammeh?
Mr. Jammeh, telung. Well, what he said, what Ismail is true, because at that time, Yaya Jammeh was behaving just like a witch. Among? Ika manke? Yaya Jammeh didn't see anybody else in this country except Senu Dabo. He was unable to kill him. He was unable to do anything to him.
Yeah. What I'm trying to understand is
somebody that Allah destines to survive will always survive. Chairman ko alafta memfahamula wala mnyintiko.
You did not just answer a blind call, but you knew what Solo Sandeng and his colleagues were demanding, electoral reform.
Manke ko alifintita doron purkate danku kumandiri kense ngoda manna. Bari wotumo Solo Sandeng nala mulube men nyininkang wo dalilo le mu dalilo ti meya ifintindi ko ila fita falingule la carte fayo Kenya to nyimbanko kang. Yes.
Thank you.
Al-Nimbara.
Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Otherwise, Mr. Jammeh and Mr. Cisse, if you have any concluding remarks to make, please go ahead and do that.
Silang wairi Commissioner Lumo Mali Nyininka, Mr. Jammeh and Mr. Cisse, atelefonalu alakumulu alibakum fala daming alafta mun kumale fola banko moli. As for us, except that our thanks all go to Allah and the young people of this country, we should try and unite. There's no place in this country, no corner where I didn't step foot. From Koina up to Bansang. This chairman sitting in front of us here, Lamin Cisse. But the time he was working with Kofi Annan, he used to come and meet us with his brother Cisse at Bansang. I spent 10 years at Bansang. In Amadou Sane's compound, Juma Kafara Sane, he died in our presence there. This is why I'm able to cope with any kind of person, wherever we meet. Because all my childhood days were spent with other people apart from my relatives. So our prayers are for all of you people here. May Allah the Almighty protect all of us. Allah has the power to guard people. May Allah guard you people. May Allah create peace for you people and the ones behind you. May Allah protect the country from any type of hostilities or war. So we also, whatever we pray to God, may Allah make it easy and grant us our wishes. May Allah give us peace and tranquility. Yes, thanks to Allah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cisse.
Mr. Cisse, what I want to show the citizens of this country from Koina to Katong, let's be very careful in this country. Let's take our country forward with care. Let's not allow a dictatorship to return into this country. That's what I have to tell the people.
Thank you, Allah barka kendeke. Ya jammete ko Gambia lombakele kadrin katon fo koina. Bari man inene manta dulato dame ya long ya fo ko ye toni kontong faling.
Well,
Sisekunda people are my uncles because my mother's surname is Sise. This is why. Well, on your mother's side, those are the powerful people there.
Monenema for ye kontong fali, ito fali, kontong fali.
Well, there is childhood and there is elderly time. But a child sometimes stands in front of an elder. Okay, a child finds the elder alive.
And the monenema for even Babil Mansaka for Toma.
Nobody told you to increase Babili Manza in your name.
Got it.
Thank you all. Thank you both very much indeed for coming to testify. We will meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock sharp. Thank you all very much.
Allah baraka.
Allah baraka.